the woman brought her lover home for the first time. When they were about to make love, her husband with an injured eye came out. Although he couldn't see, the woman still subconsciously became nervous. She covered the man's mouth tightly, fearing that her husband would find out. The husband, who was looking for his wife, was kept in the dark by them, not knowing that he was about to be led into an endless abyss by the two. The woman warned the man not to make a sound, and then he came to her husband. She lied that she was helping him make medicine just now, and the husband believed it and felt full of remorse for his hard work. He promised his wife that he would make up for everything he had done when his eyes got better. But his words instantly caused dissatisfaction in the man, and he expressed his thoughts directly and inadvertently. This scared the woman next to her, and she realized that the man who got into trouble covered his mouth tightly, but although her husband couldn't see, his ears were fine. In order to dispel her husband's doubts, the man was quick-witted and greeted him directly. Since her husband had heard his voice, why not use this opportunity to play a play? If he pretended to be a doctor, it would not only not arouse his suspicion, but also make it easier for the two of them to get along. With this method of killing two birds with one stone, the woman could not help but praise him repeatedly. So, she immediately introduced her husband as a doctor, and the simple husband did not know their every move at this time. Fortunately, this method really worked. The husband not only dispelled his doubts, but also extended his hand to the man. But this did not get a response from the man, and he even kissed his wife regardless of her existence. The next day, in order to get rid of the husband who was in the way, the man took him downstairs. The husband also had doubts, but he lied that he came out to bask in the sun for the recovery of his eyes. His words sounded really good, so the husband had no reason to doubt the husband anymore. After settling the husband down, the man left him alone. Go, not knowing that this would become the most regretful decision he made. The man couldn't wait to come to the woman. The wife didn't know that her husband had been sent out by the man. He was worried that their good thing would be discovered by her husband. But after hearing the man's explanation, the woman instantly put her heart at ease. As time went by, the husband began to get anxious. He could not even grasp the direction, and even his most familiar home became extremely unfamiliar. Just when he was anxious and at a loss, a motorcycle drove over and knocked him to the ground. After an unknown period of time, the two satisfied people suddenly remembered their forgotten husband. But when they came out, they found that the husband had disappeared. The woman became nervous instantly. Where would he go when he could not see anything? But the man had a glimmer of luck. Compared with the woman's worries, he hoped that her husband would disappear, because if he disappeared, not only would the woman belong to him, but also his property and car would be his. In this way, they could re-establish a new family without any worries. The woman, who was nervous just now, heard this and threw away her worries just now and fantasized about her future life. 2 months later, the two sat together in tears. They invited a lawyer to help transfer the property, and claimed that the man was the husband's younger brother. Since the husband was gone, the property would naturally be left to him. The lawyer felt sympathetic for his experience and promised to do his best to help. But he decided to hand over the case to a better person. The two complacent people didn't know that their retribution was about to come. The next second, a familiar figure appeared in front of them. The woman stood up immediately in fear. She didn't understand why her husband who disappeared suddenly appeared. At this time, her husband had completely awakened. It turned out that the lawyer was the one who knocked him to the ground 2 months ago. He took the fainted husband home. He couldn't figure out why after he disappeared. Not only did his wife not call the police, she didn't even go to find him. It was this abnormality that made it suspicious until the lawyer took the gauze for him, and he, who had been shrouded in darkness, finally saw the light again. He wanted to share this good news with his wife as soon as possible, but he accidentally saw the surveillance at home. Until this moment, he completely understood the lies of the two. In the end, the woman was kicked out by her husband, and the husband had notified the police to design this scam before he arrived. The man is bound to be imprisoned. Those who betray love will eventually be punished by fate.